How are we doing, lads? This is going to be part, I think, 3. Should be 3 of this 100 stacker here. So today we're just going to be adding our second booster for our hammer. And we will be actually adding the hammer as well. So we'll just get straight into it. And the first thing that I've already seen is we're going to have some slight issues with the wiring of this booster here. Because we will need that gap where we want to drop this booster down. We might need to either A, move this entire compressor backwards, or B, find out a different way to wire this. So, not quite sure what I want to lean towards first. I might just wire it just over the top like that and drop it in there. It's alright, it's not great, but it'll give us a bit of room. So what we're going to do from here now is we will just, let's get this all wired up. So get our booster in place first probably. So we're just having a thinking, so just remembering where we were at from last time. Alright, let's do this. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to take probably just a redstone feed, maybe out from that. That's where it's powering there. Because I want it to power that piston there, but I also want to use that. I might just run underneath, to be honest. So what I'm basically doing is, I know there's some redstone going through there, so I'm just going to grab that redstone circuit there to wire this booster up here, and I'll probably just wrap it around just like that. So what I'm thinking, for now at least, and then I can just wire this back up again. We are using that 3-tick separation there, so you can get away with using this method here. I actually need to move that along a little bit, and I might just have it where I want it. So just thinking there. Just power it from this side maybe. It's not great, but it'll get the job done. The alternative is I can actually move that there. This might actually be a bit cleaner. Actually, yeah, this will be a lot cleaner. So just to make sure that we don't go over our pulse limit, which can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Okay, so I'll just chuck that repeater there, and then we'll wire it up sort of like here. I kind of want to have the dispensers on this side here, so we're not really interacting with this this clock here. So I might just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just for now, and then I'll just go have it offset by a block 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Break the top one again, just to have your little reset circuit, and we will just add this piston in here. So the first position we want to power will be just there, and then we'll go 2, and then a gap of 1, 1, 2, and we'll just run our reset circuit off the top of this one. So that will be a block there, piston, and that there. So it should be our booster wired up now. Which is going to lead us into a few more problems actually. This clock here is actually really screwing me over right now, just because of the position of it. Obviously if I move it forwards a tiny bit, it's going to really start pissing me off, I think. So I'll have that one there, and to do the reset circuit, Jesus. Let's do that there, and then we can maybe get a target block there. Oof. Oh, that might work actually. And then, as long as that redstone torch there just powers it, it should be good. So I'm just going to fire the cannon. I think I just accidentally fired a different cannon, so we're just going to try that again. Where's that button? Just here. I'm going to break this circuit because we don't need to test it at full sec at the moment. But if we just fire this. Oops. Land out there. Let's try that. Yeah. It's not great, but I think now we should just be able to wrap that over the top there. So like that. And yeah, it's powered. Yeah, this is by no means nice, but kind of the best we can do just with this limited space here. Yikes. I want to have this booster dropping down here. Now I've actually run into a problem with this redstone line there. Try something actually, and that powers or unpowers that. I wonder if an observer there actually works. It might. Not really, eh? Sort of need that there, and then yeah, this has put us into quite an awkward spot now because there's like no nice way for us to power that there. I mean, I think it'll work, but the problem is it's not gonna that edge of the circuit there is not connected to that there, and I do want it set up so that it will. I can move this entire booster here backwards by a block. I might actually do that first, and we can try and work around that problem there instead. Oh, yeah, you can sort of see the problem now, because in order to turn the actual cannon off, we'll need to power that there, and yikes, it's not looking particularly nice right now. I mean, potentially I could just try feeding it from the other side here instead, but I think that just means we're going to just run into the same problem on the other side. If we do that there. Yeah, now I've sort of got no way to, well, it might work. We got no way to turn the clock off. I need a power. Any bits of this redstone, basically. Just make sure it's still working. Yeah, it is still working. So I want to power. Shit. Yeah, these are the struggles that you'll tend to have time to time while doing your cannons. Shit like this, where you just don't know really what to do. And this is sort of one of those scenarios there. I mean, there is one thing that I'm thinking, and that's like I move this entire clock on the to be back here instead. I might just do that, to be honest. Just move this entire thing back. Let's have our repeater. Means we're going to need to move this pulse extender all the way back as well. So, do that as well. Yeah, it's just a messy start, but unfortunately this is the kind of shit that is going to happen when you're playing around with your cannons. You're just going to get shitty situations like this where you're not quite sure how you want to approach it without making the cannon a complete mess. And it's looking like this is one of those cases that here. So have redstone there. I do need it powered like that. I'm worried about that piston or this dispenser here getting butt powered as well, so I'm just going to chuck a slab there. Hopefully stop that. Alright, and what we'll do now is work out the best way to power. I think it's that one there. So what I can do actually is I can just run, we'll do our capacitor here and then just run our redstone feedback in. So go 1, then 2. I think I'm gonna actually need to make the pulse longer because I can't like put a solid block into it here. I mean, alternatively, I could probably just get away with this, to be honest. Then again, not really, eh? Fuck. Rough start. try that. And then that there. That should work. It's not great, but see. I need a repeater there, but it looks too far. Okay, why didn't that? Okay. I need it coming off there instead, so it's actually hard powering that block there. And because that's hard powered, it should start there. It stays on for so long. But I think if I have it shorter, it's going to run out of time. And I'll leave that as is. We're just going to focus on the rest of the cannon. Alright, so that actually gives us a lot more flexibility here, so I might actually move this booster here back another block. So I'll go /move 1 south. I do have that 3 tick separation, because I got that repeater there. Actually, that's not 3 ticks, is it? Because if it's coming off that redstone trail there, I actually need to add 2 more. Too far. See if that works. Yeah, that looks more like 3 ticks, eh? I'm going to place that block back in. And this booster here, I'll probably be able to just drop it down a little bit. Bit lower, maybe. Now, I'm kind of worried about this not actually functioning on auto as well. So we drop that booster there. Oh, more separation. I'm going to move this back over again. Undo. Nice. Going to add those 2 blocks there, and then we're just going to add, I think I'm going to just add a block there. I do want that separation again, too far. And I'll probably have that sitting just like there. Okay, so sort of my thinking now is I'm going to push my one-shot sand in from here. And I'm going to push my hammer in from here. So I'm going to shoot my hammer across here. If my booster here is dropping there, then I'll need my hammer sitting on a ladder just to get good velocity, and I'll need a stopper at the back here just to stop it from going everywhere. And then we can just have our piston set up here. I'm not having this same like vertical hammer, because obviously, like with a 10 stacker, we could get away with like a small amount of hammer, but in this scenario here with a 100 stacker, we'll need 130 hammer. So what we're going to end up doing is we're actually going to end up setting this a lot more like the power. And now think about it, I do want like a stopper or something here. Basically, the next sort of thing that I'm thinking about is if I boost the hammer in with infinite boosters back this way here, it's gonna like push it slightly towards this this booster here. So I might just have, but I can't. Okay, so I can't actually have the trapdoor position like that because then it's gonna block the sand. But if I have it like this, it might actually block too much of the exposure. So again, just falling into a bit more of an awkward spot. So might just have to say, we might just need to give it like super low velocity and then go from there. So obviously we're going to start at the higher range first. So I think this is like 144 power. So what I might do for the hammer for this thing is just have two sections. Actually, that is one thing that we can do, is if we're having our if we're only having 2 sections of hammer to get about 140 TNT, instead of needing to worry about this pushing this TNT forwards or backwards, what we can do instead is actually just have like a linear booster. So instead of it needing to be like a shitty setup, we can just do it basically just cheap and budgeted. So just gonna lie this all out. So extend that out there, that out there. I'm worried about this observer column here interacting with the hammer, so I'm just going to move it back 1, move 1 east, and then we'll just add in that, and then that. And then of course our observer columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should come out to be, stack 11 up, whatever 6 by 12 by 2 is. So 12 by 12, which is 144. So we'll get 144 hammer to start off with, which is going to be in that 1.3 times range. Now at the end of this video here, I'm actually not going to be releasing this cannon just yet. Because after we've finished with the hammer, the 1 rev, and all that sort of stuff, we're gonna hop back over to some more concepts and explain how we're gonna nuke and how we can actually use game ticks in our cannon. So it's not gonna be like straight away hopping in to this whatchamacallit. Wow, that actually works. That is so nice. So because we're using this 3-tick hammer again, we got that 3-tick separation between the hammer and the power. What I'm actually doing here is I'm having a... so this is my hammer booster here. Hammer booster goes off 1 tick before our power. So what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing an observer from our hammer booster. So that'll be in line with the power, and then now I just need to add 1 more tick. So what I can actually do here is, to preserve the quick pulse again, I can just move that over just a little bit, and I might just have the redstone there instead. So I've got that 3-tick separation now. 1, and then so when this goes off, this is going to be 1 tick before the second power. So when that observer goes off, it's going to be at the timing of the second power, and then obviously 1, 2, 3 more ticks. So that's what we'll do there, and then sort of just thinking now, because I do obviously want this booster to be sitting like just here, but I also don't want this to be bud powered. I'm actually going to need to extend this platform out a little bit more as well. I think what I'll do is I won't actually have the stack 16 east. I won't actually do the 1 rev in this video. I'll just rig up the hammer and the 1-shot sand, and then we'll do the 1 rev in the next video. Well, not the next video, the next time we actually play with this cannon here. So of course I need that block there, need that block there, and I'll need to wire up a booster now for this, which should be pretty easy. I should just be able to go, instead of 6 TNT, I want to do like 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I do 6 and I just have the booster, because I'll obviously need like a bit more power in this booster, because it's going a little bit of a longer way, but it is still only doing those 6 blocks. So what I might do is I might actually just have this like linear booster set up here, and then I'll just have that a slab there just to avoid bud powering anything, and then I can just add a column of piston, or this piston observer column like that. Keep it nice and compact, and then I can obviously just add my observers and pistons up the back here. So I'll actually want to block there first, and then 2, and then 3, and then, oops, and then 4, 5, and that should be enough. So I'll just do the reset circuit again, have that reset there. So obviously this is just going to drop the drop this booster all the way down into this block here, which at this point here it should just hopefully just boost it all into where that ladder is there. I didn't just need that extra amount of booster there because I'm kind of worried that it won't be enough. So what I'm going to do from here is obviously I want this going off 1 tick before this booster here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to move this repeater back by 1. And then while I've got a repeater there, I'll just run that normal redstone out just to there instead. So hopefully what should happen now is the order in which everything is going to go is this. So this booster here is going to go off first, and then a tick later this booster is going to go off, and then 4 ticks after this booster here the hammer should go off. So we'll just try that and just make sure that that all works. Let's see if we get our hammer on the wall. That didn't reset. Okay. You did see the hammer hit the wall there, but I just forgot the reset circuit for this bit here. And 1 down. And then move 1 down. And at this point here, we're pretty much at the point where we'll actually raise this entire cannon to go up to to go up to like Y100, so we can just more accurately make sure that it does stack close to 100 sand for the time being. An additional thing about 1 rev that you should know as well is that it'll often make your hammer ratios a lot more efficient if you get a good 1 rev ratio. So that's another nice thing to keep in mind. So we've now got everything set up pretty much, so we're just going to fire that again. Why didn't that reset? Oh, I forgot the redstone top. 2, 3, 4, and then I'll just move this. Move 1 down. Okay, that just doesn't have redstone there, so I need that there. And then I'll move all of this down by 1. TNT fill, and we'll just fire that again. Make sure that that's all working. I obviously don't have the sand in yet because I don't particularly care about the sand right now. I think that was all the hammer there. Just make sure we'll just watch it all. Okay. So looked like a bit of the booster there actually got shot off, so either I don't have enough power in that, or the cheeky thing that I can do as well is I can just give it a bit more time to reach the end. So I'm just going to give this an extra redstone tick worth of delay, and now that should be quite nice, and that should just shove it all over. We'll just make sure that that all works again. Boom. Make sure it hits the wall here. Oh, there it is. So I'll just add my one-shot sand now. So it's pretty much just like your own little one-stacker in this area here. I've got a block underneath it just so we've got a bit of room to fall. And then I'll just add, I think it's 36 ticks, probably just grabbing it off the circuit here. So I'll just do approximately 36 ticks and work from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 repeaters, 8, 9 repeaters. I'll do 10 repeaters, so this is going to be 40 redstone ticks. Let's make it 44, and we'll work out exactly when this needs to go off. So obviously we got 4 redstone ticks here. So if we're counting from this point here, this is going to be going off at 4. So that means the TNT for this booster is going to be exploding at 44. So we'll get this to go off at maybe 42 or something. So it's currently going off at 4x4, which is 16 plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7x4, which is 28. So that's currently going off at 42? No, I've miscounted, surely. 16 and 28 is 44. So I'm just going to remove 2 redstone ticks. And we're just going to fire, see if this works. 2, good. Instantly got it. So yeah, that's absolutely perfect there. So all that we really have left to do now is we can just raise this entire cannon up to Y100 and make sure that we're getting all the sand there and we're stacking all the sand. I won't worry about like lowering the hammer ratios for now until I've got my 1 rev rigged up. So after this video here, we're actually going to be taking a break from this cannon. I think that was all the way across. Let's go from the bottom here, slash, move 100, or move, let's move 90 up, 90 up. Speed 10. So obviously you've got the negative 64 blocks in the overworld, because crystal's in the overworld here. We're just going to test it at whatever height this is. So this is Y37. 37, it's actually 63, because you need to remember you got bedrock as well. So with 63 there, 37 and 63 is pretty much on 100. I'm going to drop it like down by like 2 blocks or something. And then we'll just run this out to here. And then we'll just run this all the way out here, so it'll be hitting this point here. Grab some bedrock, stick it on the end there. And hopefully that, I'm just going to move it probably a little bit further away actually. Move 20 east, because I'm just kind of concerned about I might still have protection blocks down there. My render distance isn't high enough right now to see it, but, oh, hello, hi. We'll just try that again. Reminder for my future self to send that word out, or censor that word out. I'm not quite sure why this isn't working now, actually. Oh, we got a clog. Yay. Trapdoor. I think it was just due to the, whatchamacallit, not working. Okay. Sand got stuck there, so it might have been because my sand didn't have the velocity to reach all the way through. So I'm just going to be raising this circuit up here, up by 3 blocks or something. Move 3 up, oops, stack 1 up. And then let's try that again with a bit more power. And we'll just try T5. Okay, not quite sure why that isn't getting out now. How'd that get there? Oh. Okay, we got ourselves a little problem by the looks. So this sand here is actually not getting all the way across. I'm not quite sure why that's the case. For some reason, it's like sort of like just floating across like a little bit to the side there. Again, I have a feeling it's just because this is like the perfect point at which it's so it like finishes the first triangle and then it goes like across a little bit. So I have a feeling like we've actually created like a little bit of a pseudo midair with that issue there. But we'll fire again with 1 less TNT and just see if that helps. Same thing again. I know why. Okay, so this is the funniest problem, and I've actually had this with a lot of problems. The reason why that's happening there is because your one-shot sand's actually pushing out and it's blocking that booster. So I'm going to give that one-shot sand another tick worth of delay, and we're just going to try again. It's a dumb little issue, but... Hey, look at that! Just like magic. So if we use a bone on this sand stack, remove 97 sand. There you go. So that's absolutely perfect. That is exactly what we want. Bang. And then you can see, of course, you get your one-shot sand stacking at the top. So since that was 97 sand, this can actually do up to 101, including the one-shot sand. So I'm going to just raise it up by 3 blocks, 3 blocks, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to raise this up by 3 blocks as well, 1, 2, 3. And then we're just going to fire that again. Hopefully that works now. And if we clear that sand stack, removed 100 sand. Alright. Since I got a bit of editing to do, because there's some people kind enough to start spamming the hard R, we'll just leave this video here for now. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how nuking works, how we can add a nuke to one of these sorts of cannons. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video, and this little tutorial series on this 100 stacker will probably resume in about maybe 2 or 3 videos time. So I'll see you all then.